The forest management operation here at the Hartford Town Forest is starting to wrap up. The harvester has cut all the trees. The hand feller has come through and cut all of the trees that were too tricky for the harvester to cut. So all the trees that are going to be cut are cut. And all that's left to do now is to grab and haul the logs out of the forest with the forwarder. The forwarder's been working all this week, hauling the wood out of the woods, the logs out of the woods into the landing. The harvester left the forest on Wednesday and wrapped up cutting on Monday. So there's really only a few more days here where the operation will be active. And this is really phase one of this operation. Phase two will be the cleanup that'll happen this spring. And there will be some cleanup here with the conditions that we had in January. The wet, warm weather really threw a wrench into our plans. And we ended up with some muddy patches, some areas where the forwarder ended up rutting up some of the skid trails that they were using. And those will have to be repaired. They got to be repaired. Something I didn't want, something the loggers didn't want. We certainly didn't want to create any muddy, rutty spots, but that's what happened with the unpredictable winter we had here. I mean, it's been cold this week, and in fact, the polar vortex is coming in tomorrow, and I think it's going to be 6 degrees with a wind chill of -30, but on Sunday it's going to be back to 40 and rainy. So that's just the kind of weather we've been dealing with all winter here at the Hartford Town Forest. The forwarder should be done by the end of this week, grabbing all these loads that need, all the piles of logs that need to be hauled out. And once he's done doing that, grabbing all the logs will be all done, and the parking lot will be back opened up for use. But if you do come out here and use the forest, just keep in mind we're only really halfway done with the operation. We still need to clean up. So there'll be sticks on the trails, there'll be some ruts, there'll be some muddy spots that will get fixed. Hopefully by June. We're hoping, sometime May, end of May, mid-May, as long as the spring is dry enough. We'll be in here with a medium-sized excavator, fixing drainages, smoothing ruts, reestablishing, places for the water to go, and getting the brush off the rec trails. So I wanted to show some of the conditions of the skid trails that were used during the operation. This trail is in the northern part of the treatment area. It heads from the stream that splits the sail in half to the landing along Reservoir Road. I would say most of the trails froze up, didn't give us a lot of trouble. We ended up looking like this, frozen with very little rutting. There are some sections closer to the landing that did give us some trouble. Areas where the ground didn't freeze or there were drainage issues because of the rain that we received in January. This winter's been very unpredictable, and we ended up with some muddy areas. So because of the wet, warm weather we had this whole operation, once we came to the northern part of the town forest, we ended up with some areas that look like this. This is not what we wanted, not what I wanted, certainly not what the loggers wanted, but with the warm weather we had all January, we had some rutting and a little bit some disturbance of the soil. They're doing a good job of packing down some of the ruts that they made, but there still will be work to be done for sure in areas like this in May when they come and clean up. These areas like this will be high priority to be fixed. Definitely unfortunate, not what we wanted, but winters are so unpredictable now, particularly here in the upper valley. It could be snowing in the greens, but raining here. And so we ran into a lot of that while we were working this January. Again, something we'll fix, high priority to be fixed, and we'll get this smoothed out. This is not a rec trail. This was not an area that has a rec trail in it, which is one good thing about this. We put some other trails to get around some of the areas where the rec trails were, so we didn't have as big of impact on the rec trail. So they'll smooth this out. They'll make sure any drainages that are needed are installed, and it'll get fixed hopefully by June, as long as spring is dry and not as rainy. So unfortunate, but it's kind of happens now with the winters we get.